Well, hello, hello. Welcome to Real WW Talk. I'm Candice.
And I'm Rikki.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our Real WW Talk Plus series.
Yes, highly anticipated.
I'm so excited. I don't know if you remember, we did this last year. And as you know, Erin is recovering from her surgery. She is still doing well, and she gives her thumbs up to every single guest that we're having this month, because we are bringing in voices from our community that have expertise in areas that we don't. We're ready to learn along with you. So some of you all have told us what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and we aim to please. So welcome to Real WW Talk Plus. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, you've come in at a great time. Rikki, I don't know how excited you are.
I'm so excited. I feel like we just gained so much knowledge and just additional friends, new friends in the community last year. And I'm so excited for our next guest.
And the good news is that we don't even just have guests that are from Weight Watchers proper. We bring them in from all over. But the guest that we have today is someone I've been very excited to speak to. She is one of our national coaches. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a bio. So I am going to read it because, I don't have the whole skill of memorizing everything. And she has some things you need to know. So our guest today is someone who embodies the phrase stronger with time. Marianne first joined Weight Watchers in 1989 with over 100 pounds to lose, which I know many of us can relate to. She didn't just lose the weight, though. She changed her entire relationship with food, her body, her health, and most importantly, her strength, which is what we're going to talk about today. Over the past 34 years, she's navigated massive life changes, including surviving an estranged marriage, including raising 2 toddlers and becoming a group fitness instructor, and ultimately finding her power, literally, through strength training and competitive powerlifting. Today, Marianne is not only maintaining her 100-pound weight loss, but she's still lifting, still showing up and inspiring women and men to find their strength at any age, in any season. And if you're thinking, I'm too old for that, let me tell you, Marianne started her powerlifting and strength training journey at 51 years old. So we're so honored to have her with us to talk about how strength training can become a life-giving part of your weight loss journey and wellness journey. So we are bringing on Marianne. Welcome to Real WW Talk. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Can I say you have like the best shoulders? I mean, you are just you look so flattering in that shirt.
Well, I'm ready for Saturday. I'm competing this Saturday. So I'm like at my top peak right now.
I was like, we don't even need the intro. We just needed her to come in with the shirt, with the sleeve and be like, look, see, this is why you strength train. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it made me feel so much more confident in my body. It really did. Losing weight, getting stronger, all of it really brought a lot of confidence into my life. Like seeing that I could do things and really bringing it inside. It really has been transformative.
But like when you mentioned, because when we were talking in the bio, and we were talking a little bit beforehand, but when you started strength training after really focusing on cardio, early on in your journey. So what made you decide like it's time to start lifting weights? Like it's time to really transition to more strength and less cardio. Because I'm the cardio bunny. I love the Peloton. I love walking. I love biking. But anytime I think of a weight, I get completely nervous, scared. I don't know what it is.
Or it's an afterthought. It's like, oh, I'll do it next time. Yeah.
Well, I absolutely get where you're coming from. Absolutely. And keep in mind, when I started out, women didn't weight lift.
Yeah.
The women did, please hear me, but women didn't weight less. You had maybe the 2-pound weights, and that was it, part of a class. And that was really the way it was. And I joined a gym back in 2000, and I did become the group fitness junkie. I loved it. But I don't know what got the bug in my head, but I wanted to physically get stronger. I loved the way muscle looked. And there was a female personal trainer who was also a bodybuilder, and she had just the most amazing body, Tashika. And they had a big thing, like three personal training sessions with her, and I bought it, and she showed me how, and I just totally got the bug there. But she showed me how. And I think that really was a big part of it, because I was scared too. I was doing all these things, using these machines, jumping in these classes, but I didn't understand like where to start. What does it look like? And she was really great about that. And I'm so appreciative to this day.
Yeah. I feel like there's such a kick now to do everything online. And, just like Candice, I love the Peloton and I love that the whole system, but I feel like you're really selling the whole like in-person gym experience, because, when you say she showed me how, that connection, I feel like probably helped you get started because you had that role model.
Absolutely. And even to this day, I mean, I've got all the equipment and everything, but I still like to go to my gym and work out, even if we just kind of give a sup to each other. There's something about really being in that room, that whole energy that comes together.
And what do you think about for people? Because, I think about when COVID happened and a lot of the gyms closed, and like you said, I know you can do a lot of things online, but sometimes you don't have the option to go to the gym. So for somebody who's trying to kind of get into fitness or specifically strength training, and they don't have a gym membership, what do you think about?
I think that if they absolutely so many opportunities online. Peloton, again, they have strength training classes, YouTube. There are a lot. I make my own little videos. There's 6 movements you can do them for 30 seconds or 10 reps. You choose, you can put them in order. And I do the best I can to demo it as I'm videoing it, but I try to give people a bunch of different ways to start, even in their bed.
Yeah.
You're starting with bridges. You're laying in bed, do some bridges, roll over and see if you can try a plank, But, you've got to start where you are. And if you're not comfortable, maybe going out, there really are a lot of wonderful programs out there.
And how do you think that strength training, like specifically, may have helped you? You talked about a lot of different life changes that you kind of went through. And, exercise for me, I've shared on the podcast that I've been going through a cancer journey. And exercise has always been a release for me. Do you find that strength training specifically is something that helps you manage all of the emotions you had when you were going through some of those really stressful times in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So another aside, I got sober in 2014 and really redirected my life. I had the goal of being skinny. And as long as I was 138 pounds, everything was wonderful. But meanwhile, I'm living on salads, doing all this cardio, drinking all this water and drinking all this wine. And I made the decision to make a big change there. And a lot of things had to change with it. I had to really kind of step back from all of the exercise I was doing, teaching classes. And I hired a strength coach, somebody I worked with who opened his own gym. And he started to show me like all the things, like how do you do a squat? How do you do a deadlift? He showed me. I got comfortable with it. And a few years later, I did lose my father. And that was really one of the most profound losses I can say. And it hit me. It just took the wind out of me. I had seen him. He just gotten home from the hospital. And I showed him a video of me deadlifting. And he thought that was like the greatest thing. Although he did ask me if I would clean and press it. I'm like, but he was so excited about it. Like he was so proud of me. He was like, oh, look at you. And then he passed, and I grieved through iron. I grieved through poor people walk up to me in the gym like, how you doing? And all of a sudden I just bust out crying. Like, it helped me. And because that was a little dangerous for me then to turn back to drinking.
Yeah.
And thank goodness, and one of my friends, Shawnee, had got the great idea. Well, there's going to be a powerlifting meet at Hofstra University. Why don't we do it? And then we picked up a couple of we had a women's powerlifting team, and we did our first one. And it was like, I got the bug. And I felt like my dad was on that platform with me. I felt like everything was on that platform with me. And I really did get a bug with it.
That's amazing. So how long have you been doing the competing side of that weightlifting?
So that was my first one in 2017. And I've probably done 5 or 6 of them. And I'm doing one Saturday also, but it's a little different. A little different. This one is typically it's a squat, bench, and deadlift. This one is something called a strict curl. Never did in my life. Thought it looked cool. What the heck? So I have no idea what I'm going to do on Saturday. I trained for it. Thank goodness for ChatGPT. Gave me a great great training program.
That's awesome.
We talked about that a few weeks ago.
I did.
Yeah. Can help.
That's another way you can use it. Thank you for that example.
I told them I wanted to compete in a deadlift at that, and it wrote me this great program. And even Ryan is my strength coach now. We meet once a month, but he had no history either. So it was kind of cool for the two of us. We kind of, so it trained me for it. And so it's been 2017 to 2025.
Wow.
I'm going to be 60 in January.
That's another big celebration.
Yeah. I'm actually starting to look for a powerlifting meet in January because I think that's how I should celebrate.
Yeah.
I mean, your life has changed when you're like, I want to do something fitness.
I want to go to a powerlifting, that's how I'm celebrating. Yes.
Oh, that's incredible.
But there's something in the community. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
There's something about the community also. It's so diverse.
Yeah.
Every age. Like I typically tend towards the older, but there's like 8-year-olds there and everybody. With my last meet last summer, my second to last meet, there was an 85-year-old woman who was competing there too. And
that's incredible.
The community yells for everybody, cheers everybody on. And it carries over in the gym too. Like the people that go to the gym I work out in. And it's so uplifting. Like I can be having the worst day ever. I walk in that gym and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But what you're speaking of that I think is important is the power of community, and that's something that I know that in the Weight Watchers world that we try to focus on too. I know that you as a coach, you have your meetings and members who are coming in. I'm thinking about myself too, because we were in-person meeting goers for that's how we met. You heard the story. I went in and
I remember
I was going to be a friend, but community is the reason why this program was the one that I chose. And when you're hearing your members who are coming in and they're kind of already dealing with being overwhelmed with all the changes that come with like a lifestyle, like I'm trying to get the eating plan down and like making changes for somebody who you hear all the time, especially for those, like I've been put into a menopausal state and they talk about how important strength training is, for somebody who is going through a change of life. But I can sometimes get overwhelmed with all the other changes that I'm trying to make to keep myself healthy, whether it's drinking the water or eating enough protein or, doing all the things. How do you use when you're in the Weight Watchers community, when you're leading and you have people, your members who come to you and tell you that they don't even know where to start. They don't know how to get started when they're trying to make other changes too. What do you feel is the best kind of advice that you give them?
Well, I do ask them, where do they feel most confident starting? You think about it, what is going to feel the least overwhelming? If it's tracking a meal, going for a walk, doing a stretch, like really, it's a kind of that internal question, what would I feel good doing right now? What wouldn't overwhelm me? And starting there. Because it is overwhelming, just the way you're like, I'm going to do this and that, and just taking it piece by piece. I didn't start exercising on my journey until I lost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I was carrying around an extra 100 pounds was a workout.
Yeah.
It was a workout. And I couldn't even think about that. I really felt like if I just started with the food and then build from there. So really, it's kind of, where would you want to start? Where would you feel your best?
Yeah, because I feel like the community, I mean, and it's not Weight Watchers' fault, but I think that we can be very focused on the number. We're very focused on weight loss. And there's this myth, right, that goes around that if you strength train, and maybe it's not a myth, because there is a part of it, at least initially, maybe as your muscles are, they always say a pound of muscle weighs more than a pound of fat, which I don't think is true. I think a pound is a pound. 1 pound. It's more in but that's what I always heard. And that's why I didn't want to do it initially, because I wanted to see the scale go down. And I wasn't focused on, I know my body could change, but I was like, not if it's at the expense of that number on the scale, because Weight Watchers isn't going to give me my Bravo star or my 5 pound if the scale doesn't change. So how do you get out of that mindset? Was that a struggle for you?
Probably not, because I don't think that much was going around back when I started. I think I was kind of saved from it back in the early 2000s, because women didn't do this anyway. What are you doing that anyway for? Right. And we didn't hear a lot of those type of things back then, but I'm sure it came not too far after, especially with social media.
Yeah.
But here's some things that I kind of go into the science. Yeah, sure. The first week or two, our bodies can be a little interesting to say the least, right? There's so many factors that go into the scale at that time. And maybe the first week or two, maybe you'll see a bit of a bump, but that's going to finally settle in. You're eating, you're eating healthy, you're moving healthy. And I always like to lean into 15% of our metabolic rate is based on how much muscle we have in the body. Digestion, the other 75% is everything else. But I kind of like those odds. If I can boost my metabolism up by 15% by building a little muscle, I like to be talked into things. I don't know about you, but
that helps a lot, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's normal. I think any changes in life, you'll see bumps in the scale, the ups and the downs. But the problem is, like, if you keep going, you're definitely going to see it. Absolutely see the changes.
That's so you've maintained over 100-pound weight loss. And so what would you say, that's incredible. What would you say has been the easiest part of maintaining? And what would you say has been one of the most challenging parts?
I'm not so sure there was any easy parts.
Okay, so
no,
that's okay.
I have a lot of great
habits.
Got
to give us some hope now. Come on.
No, I've got a lot of great habits. I mean, I track. I've been tracking since, not always, and there was a couple of Weight Watcher programs that did not work with my life.
Okay.
And I kind of got away from tracking in some of them. And then they had a core program that didn't have to track on. Love that.
I was just going to ask, were you a core girl?
I love that. I thought it was great. I thought because it was based on eating, things in low sugar, like all the things that we look at now. So I love that. Kind of got away from it, but now I like gamified it. I love tracking. And I think that that's something that made it easier.
Okay.
And I found habits that I liked. Like I like working out. I like riding a bike. I like eating stir-fry vegetables and chicken. I just found all these likes. And I think that that's really what made it easier for me on times. What made it harder was a lot of changes in my life.
Okay.
Learning to manage my mental health. I was on a medication. I gained like 20 pounds on the medication. That was devastating, trying to explain to one of my healthcare providers the impact it's having on my mental health, watching after all these years to see it's gone up. Please. I had 2 babies. But this was like one of those scary ones that kept going up and up. And to have that conversation with my healthcare provider, like I can't go up the medication, but what else can we do? And it actually affected my blood sugar also. My A1C went up. Wow. So then they put me on metformin, which is it's a carryover for mental health, and that helped a lot back my appetite. So like those are some of the tougher times. Like sometimes it is out of your control. Some things happen. So I've learned that I have to speak up for myself, talk to the doctor, talk to my strength coach, I've learned how to ask for help.
That's great. That's a great skill. And it's so much it's harder. It's easier said than done.
Yeah. I still struggle with that. I still, because Marianne, I relate so much to what you're saying about even how medications, can really mess with your weight, and having to know what's in your control and what's not in your control, especially when I base a lot of my worth based on the number on the scale. And even my effort, I knew it should have been about health, but not that health was secondary. It's just that was how I measured if I was okay based on a number on the scale. So, having to change that. I'm just curious, even for yourself, because this is like a 30-year kind of like span. What's the biggest mindset shift that you think that you've had from your younger self to like who you are today that kind of helped you?
Well, it's not the physical. I'm stronger than I thought. I'm stronger than I ever believed. I underestimated myself left and right. There's so many times that I just wish I made the decision sooner. I wish, but I underestimated myself. I didn't think I could. And that's something that has shifted a lot in my life. Yeah. It takes a lot of therapy.
We are all therapy. Raise your hand if you have a therapist, every single one of us, right?
Right. A lot of it, and a lot of work there, but that's made such a difference in my life. It's, seeing that I can. Not that sometimes as I'm going to bed at night, but that was, I think, the biggest shift. And I think that's helped me ask for help, overcome some challenges, and do what I need to do to prioritize my best self at this time in my life.
I'm so glad you're saying that, because I feel like that's something that all of us have had to work on. And I think that could be the thing that helps someone get from like the point where they are to the next phase in their health journey, because it's the worthiness. You know, I feel like reading the book Worthy, I don't know if you've read, by Jamie Kern Lima. Yeah, like that was kind of really helpful for me. She was on, I think, Oprah, the special they had, a couple years ago. And I think between that and just therapy, it really can help you to just gain a better understanding of who you are and what's good for you. Because again, that comparison piece. Have you had to deal with comparison in your journey, and how is that? How have you either moved past that or learned to deal with that?
You mean like comparing myself to myself?
Yeah, either to yourself or to others.
Yeah, others not so much. I think mostly it's myself. I could lift this then, I could do that then, and all of that stuff. Yeah, that I think has been hardest for me, and all it does is tear you down.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. My story is now, and that's really where I've had to overcome a lot of the comparison part.
Because I could see that, like you said, the comparison with yourself. But to Rikki's point, I mean, I know that someone could look at you right now and say, gosh, there's no way I could ever look like that. Like she's over here doing these deadlifts, and you know, there's a place where having to be able to say, I'm not her yet, or not supposed to be her. When you find that as a coach, you have a lot of people who are coming into the meetings and they're looking at you and they're saying, oh my gosh, I don't know if she can relate to the fact that I am 300 plus pounds and I've never ever picked up a weight. Like, what do you find helps to connect who you were to what they're going through now? Because that comparison, I think, is hard for me.
I had a lot more of that when I was in person. In person, people would look at me up and down, and then I tell them.
Yeah,
I'd share my story. Yeah, like, and the world doesn't need another me. The world needs another you. That's the person. You need to be here, not me. This is you. You want to be your best, whatever that looks like. Even if I never lost another pound, even like you're being your best, feeling good about yourself. And I would love, if we could keep that scale under our feet, not over our head, wouldn't life just be so peaceful?
Yeah,
I love that. We need that on a bumper sticker.
I know.
Under our feet and not over our head.
Absolutely. And and that's a hard part, because look, I was raised with scales. My mother screaming at me, yelling at me, the pediatrician yelling at my mother, calling me names, which I don't even, the F word, not that fun F word, that I can't, I cringe as soon as I hear it. I don't, unless you're talking about nutritional information.
Right.
That's what we're talking. But it's always been scale based. You have to weigh this, you're good if you're that. And I've been working a lot on that for the last 6 months or so. Weight Watchers gave me an opportunity to do something called Weigh In with Me on Wednesday mornings. And it's a 15-minute webinar that I talk and people listen. And it has made such a difference in my life. Such a difference, because I weigh in and it's done. There's no like thinking about it. I actually read my last 3 victories. I have a victory log before I get on the scale. So that's in my head. I read that out loud. I weigh in. I come back to everybody. I'm like, track my weight. And it's just really helped me put it where it's supposed to be, under my feet.
And a victory log. I love that.
And you said before you weigh in.
Yes, tell me more about this log. So you weigh in.
Right. So you have to be very sassy. You have to go to Dollar Tree and get yourself a really funky book or whatever.
Look, that is no problem with me. All I need, I have a whole thing full of journals. So
and I just recommend, just write down any victory. If it's, I didn't eat pizza when I was with Hudson at chemo. If I didn't buy that ice cream in the supermarket, I got up and went to the gym when I didn't want to. Every single thing, anything. Write it down. And before you get on the scale, read the last 3.
Wow.
I love that. Victory log. Gonna start doing that, Candice.
Oh, that I'm about to make that like a community requirement. Like I want to
Yes.
hear what we're putting in our victory logs.
Love it.
And then so if you're finding that the scale, because that to me is really, I think, something that I've heard the program, because we've talked about how Weight Watchers is really trying to change their focus anyway from it just being scale focused to what are the other non-scale victories? And that's really what I'm hearing you say. What are these non-scale victories that we have that can help us to really put our week into perspective? How do you make this not just about that number? Because I share what you're saying. Most of my journey, my life has been focused on a number. And having to break that I still haven't been able to break it. Still
fighting it. I'm still with both of you. I'm still working on my mom. When she passed, she had dementia. She didn't know where she was, but she always knew how much she weighed.
Wow.
And that was a wake-up call to me. That was a wake-up call to me. That was her only concern, and what I weighed and what she weighed. And I think that really was the impetus of me saying, okay, it's time to dig in here. Dig in here and let's find other things. And it's the power of the mind. Our mind sees what we let it see. And if we let it see our victories, that's just thought.
But it's kind of like the feet first and the head will follow thing too. Like that's
another coach who said that, Heather. One of our other coaches, that's what she always said, feet first, the head will follow. Because I think that, I'm just really trying to digest what you're saying, because I don't focus so much on the victories of the week. It's such a passive, it's an afterthought. It's let me see what the number is first. And then I'll decide if this was a good week or a bad week. And even if I might know, okay, I had this, but it was always based on if the number said it was a good week, then it was a good week. If the number didn't reflect, it doesn't matter.
Hey, my life is in shambles, but as long as I weighed 138 pounds, life is good.
Right.
Yeah, seriously, that is the way my brain thought. So there's something missing there in my thinking at that time.
And not to take it back to even body composition, but you talk about think of somebody at 138 pounds who may have been lifting or have like strength training as a part of their and not. Like I was one who I said, I don't care if I have muscle or not, as long as I can see the number, that's all that matters. And even though I had doctors who were saying, actually, not true, but I really do need you to have some muscle. It still wasn't enough for me to even want the temporary gain. I wasn't willing to deal with the temporary gain that could come with just your body getting readjusted with weight training. I've had to fight it. And my husband, does personal training to some degree. And he was like, when are you going to get past the fact that I love how Marianne's body looks, but there was a time where your body had to readjust to do that. So did you just kind of close your eyes at that point and just say, hey, look, I'm not focused on that. Here's my victory wins.
I was probably kicking the scale, cussing and everything else. Come on. Listen, I'm sure I was having a fit myself, but you know what? It's over and I don't remember it. That's the funny thing. Like I look back at my journey, like the weeks that I was so devastated, I gained weight. And I remember being in my meeting, crying, like, I gained weight. I can't even tell you anything about that right now. I know it happened, but I can't say it happened on April 6th, 1991.
Right.
So I think somewhere along the line, like it just goes. Like you do it and it goes. And I'm a person that needs a sales pitch 99% of the time. What's for you? Like, I want to be the one that lifts all the groceries. I want to carry out the things. I don't want to wind up like my poor mom who couldn't walk up the stairs. My dad, he had weights next to his easy chair in his last day on earth. But my mom, she wanted the chair lift. That I don't want that. I want to be able to be independent. I also want to be the person in the retirement community everybody comes over to talk to.
I love that. I think I have a feeling that you will be.
I think yes. I could see it.
But I feel like everything you said is a testament to why you aren't thinking about the negative things of the past, because you set your mind on the target of, I want to be able to be healthy. I want to lift things, instead of saying I want to fit into a size 2 dress, which isn't a bad goal. But I think the more we focus on that, what is the overall lifestyle I want to live versus what is that one outcome I want, it makes a difference. Because you can kind of have both sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to tell something, both of you. So when I wasn't working out as much or just doing mostly cardio, when I married my second husband, I wore a dress online, came, put it on. I weighed 138 pounds, whatever, and it was tight. Now it's not, because I'm muscular. It's smaller. So it's the change, the body composition, as you said earlier, Candice and Rikki, that it changes it. So you can feel stronger or look different or whatever. It's not just the number.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reflection of the why, and like you said, because your why, whether you said it's, I want to, at this stage of my life later on, I think whys change as we go along in the journey. And hearing that, it makes me want to challenge myself to say, let's really revisit what my why is now. And if my why for me is more health related, and I want to be strong, and I want to have, I want to be able to play with my son who's getting stronger and stronger each day. He's no longer this little kid. I need to be able to lift more, or I've gone through these health challenges. So it's important for me to have this. Like, I think I got stuck that I had to have the same why that I did when I started, which is not true,
But it's natural. It's normal.
Yeah.
We're humans. We just kind of fall into like a zone or life. And then every once in a while, somebody will say something and remind us, and it's time to reassess and look at that why. It's powerful.
Yeah.
It really is, isn't it?
Yes.
Have that in your head. Like, I want that.
Well, just have to say thank you again for taking some time to talk to us. If people want to connect with you, I know that you are, like I said, you're a national coach. If people they can find you on, I'm sure, Connect.
Yes, I'm Spinwitch on Connect.
On Connect.
And your videos, you shared that you have videos. Where can people find those?
They can find them on Connect. If you hit Training with Marianne, it's one word, hashtag Training with Marianne. They're there. I post them on my Spinwitch account. Coach Marianne B, I post them in there too. I'm going to get a YouTube channel. My husband's bugging me to do it. I just not done it yet.
I was going to say, because we have some people who may not be on Weight Watchers who may want to connect and kind of see. What if we want to see your powerlifting? Is there any way to watch it there? No.
I'm on Instagram. I'm Spinner Witch on Instagram, and I am Marianne O'Connor Barfield on Facebook. And I got a public one because I would never put anything on Facebook my mother or my neighbors where we can see. So you can see my feed. It's all open.
And we'll make sure we'll link all of her information in our show notes. And for people who don't know what that is, that's the information description box that's at the bottom of the podcast and on our YouTube channel. And like I said, we are just so thankful that you took some time to talk to us today. I'm going to take, I am inspired to get my victory notebook.
Me too.
Sure that I have my 3 wins that I look at before I step on the scale.
Yes.
And like I said, sharing your expertise, we appreciate you so much. Rikki, is there anything else we want to tell people about how to find us or anything?
So you guys can catch us on wherever you like to download podcasts. Just search Real WW Talk. We have a wonderful Facebook community where you can connect with us, with wonderful coaches like Marianne, and just so many other supportive community members. So check us out on Facebook. Again, just search Real WW Talk. It is a closed private group, but we'd love to have you. Just make sure you answer all those questions to get in. We're also on Instagram, and Candice and I are on Connect. We're trying to get better about.
Don't yell at us, Coach. I mean, we're gonna get back because everyone's like, "Why are you all not posting on Connect?" I'm like, "It's one more thing. It's just one more."
Sometimes it's one more thing is too much. So we do.
We'll get there at some point. We're doing our best, but we will get there. And we'd love to connect with you. You can also send us an email, realwwtalk@gmail.com.
And Coach, what time are your meetings usually?
Oh, I'm a morning girl, so you'll usually find me starting about 6 a.m. to like noon. I do Monday nights at 5:30 and 7 p.m. And I have a new workshop starting. I think it's next Saturday. I couldn't do it this week. Next Saturday, which is going to be strength training, 5 movements. And I'm delivering the 5 movements in a modified way for anybody with mobility challenges. So I'm going to have a chair and weights, and I'm super stoked. It's supposed to start next Saturday, which would be August 9th to 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So then by the time you all see it, it's already started. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So you'll already be able to see it and to be able to use it, because that's the first step, guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead and join her. What is it called? Strength training, 5 minutes with Marianne.
It's strength training. It's going to be on Saturday mornings at 8:30 at 9 a.m. And it's going to be Zoom, and I'll be lifting weights with you.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Well, we are encouraging you to take that first step. Don't be afraid. Don't let the scale run and make your decisions for you, because strength training is so worth it. And we're so grateful to have not only the visual, because if you all see, if you're watching on YouTube, this is what we want. Okay. Yes. Rikki and I are going to go get
muscles. Yes.
Now. But Marianne, thank you again for joining us. And thank you to our community. If you have any questions for us, pop it in that Facebook group. We'll make sure that we send them over to Marianne and she can answer them for you, because she's in our group. She can post as well.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. But other than that, Marianne, thank you.
Thank you.
And join next week. We'll let you know who our next guest is, but we will see you then. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.